Yeah, just sitting there talking with my man Ted Dunbar. Just finished the session. Yeah, everything sounded great, man.
I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, glad you could be a part of this, man. I was telling the guys when we started recording, I grew up in the same hometown, and my parents live a couple of blocks from your mother, and everybody used to always talk about you, Miss McNeil at Lincoln High School. And I was able to meet you as a kid, which helped shape my musical career, things I wanted to play, and the sound I wanted to have. And I know you've done like a million things, man. It's amazing. I think about your career, and even before you left Texas, like for out there, you told me something about the West Side Auditorium, I think it's.
Oh yeah, all of the great rhythm and blues groups came through there, and many of the jazz players who were playing in the bands, like Coltrane.
Wow.
And I saw Ella Fitzgerald there, and many excellent stars.
So they were just like at the early part of their career too, just like traveling around doing.
Oh yeah. That they every weekend there's a different group coming in, rhythm and blues show, and they were excellent.
Wow.
Doing a lot of one-nighters and stuff.
Yeah. Wow. And I know you after leaving Texas, you went out to Indiana.
Yeah, I went to Indiana. I had met Wes Montgomery in '57 when I was in Texas Southern.
Wow.
And I heard him in the Ebony Missile Room there, and it was such an incredible experience till I moved there.
Wow.
Around right at the end of the 50s there, 60, right in that time.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, I just you think about Wes Montgomery, man. I never, just hearing you talk about him, and through his music, you could almost feel him. How he was about, the way he lived and stuff.
He's a very warm, funny person. Always cheerful. He just enjoyed playing. He played like it was so easy for him,
Yeah.
He and his brothers, they were really incredible people.
I know Wes had an amazing amount of respect for you as a guitarist, you said, Wes would always say, hey, what's that you're playing in your head,
Yeah, well, I was hanging out around David Baker at that time, and David had exposed me to Lydian concept and so many different approaches to playing.
Wow.
That was like another light in my life, and being around both people, it just opened me up.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah. And then the great Tony Williams, y'all had this amazing group.
Yeah, that group, the Sextet, I think it was, with Warren Smith and Joe Chambers at one time, and Don Elias, Junie Booth, Larry Young.
Woo.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the Cats, huh?
Oh yeah, it was really an exciting period. Very exciting, man.
Yeah. It must have been like real spiritual to the music and stuff.
Yeah. Larry had such a very deep personality, Larry Young, and Tony had just left Miles Davis' group.
Wow.
And man, his playing was just phenomenal.
Wow.
A lot of technique, but the creativity on top of that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And the music was really very different.
Yeah.
1971.
Yeah, I know. Like being from Texas too, the blues has probably had a lot of influence on you. Your life and the music.
Definitely. I love the blues. I had a chance to play around T-Bone and T-Bone Walker, Gatemouth Brown, Lowell Fulson. You name all the blues guitar players, I was just right there, because that's right on top with me.
Yeah. Well, it's great because you got the whole thing, the whole blues, the feeling, and the jazz, the harmonic, and melodic stuff, which is, so amazing about your playing and stuff. And I know people like John Coltrane, were a big influence. And, we were talking about Thelonious Monk and, how much you love his music.
Oh, yeah. It's like one unbroken line. The whole black experience. It was the gospel music. And not only that, at home I used to listen a lot to the bluegrass guys at noon when I went to lunch in high school.
Wow.
And those guys could pick and everything,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I had a very high respect for that idiot too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I know you've been a major influence as far as teaching, a lot of younger musicians, and which is great, because I think that's something that in schools they were trying to get. People always said, hey, jazz is out there in the clubs, you know, but you yourself and a lot of other people have actually brought it into the classroom, you know, and put it in a way where younger musicians and artists can absorb some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's not happening these days.
Yeah, the main thing is just the realization that life was here when we get here, so you try to go backwards and come back and go forward, you know. And but I was very fortunate being born in the 30s, where I could see the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's like an unbroken thing, and it's a tremendous appreciation for everything you hear.
That's great. Hey, well, listen, Ted, man, thanks again for being down on this project, and I've always been a huge fan, of music, and thank you for helping shape my career.
I'm very thankful that you had me on this, and I really appreciate it very much. And keep the music going like you're doing, and your own openness and what have you. Because it's about the younger musicians carrying things forward, Thank you.
Great, thank you. Oh yeah, y'all, we're gonna sign off now. That's Zachary Breaux and Ted Dunbar just sitting there kicking it, talking about jazz and good old days, and I guess the good days that are ahead of us. And peace, take care.